Hi, I'm Lisa and I'm from the Pretty Sweaty Stuff Yoga. So for this flow, you might want a cushion or a block. Or sit on the very edge of them. A nice comfortable seated position. Placing the hands onto the belly, on top of the thighs, whatever feels good. And close down the eyes. Beginning to find that connection in the body, into the mind, and maybe onto bump. Creating this nice, warm, safe environment. Taking big inhales through the nose. Exhales through the nose. Keeping a nice, long, soft breath throughout the practice. And come to move your props whenever you're ready. We'll meet on all fours. Shoulder stacks on top of the wrists. Knees a little bit wider than hip width. Toes tucked or untucked, completely up to you. We will take a deep inhale, drop the belly, pull the chest through the arms. And as you exhale, around the spine, back of the heart towards the ceiling. Inhale, drop the belly, send the chest forward, look up. Exhale, really press the ground away from you, cat pose. Inhale for your cow, pull the chest through. Exhale, round, back of the heart towards the ceiling, cat. Inhale for your cow. Exhale, push the ground away from you, round the spine. Inhale, cow. Exhale, neutral position. Begin to walk the hands out in front of you. We'll come gradually to our downward facing dog. So can you keep the length of the spine? Tilt the pelvis up. Hover the knees. Keep the length of the spine as you begin to lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Maybe keeping the knees bent if you've got tight hamstrings. And maybe you want to wiggle around before you find stillness. And then finding stillness, keep that slope along the spine. Shift the gaze out in front of you. We'll slowly meet at the top of the mat. Standing nice and wide. Bend into the knees. Sink the butt behind you. Arms by your cheekbones. Chair pose. Again, finding that slope along that spine. Peep down so you can still see the toes. And keep breathing. Relax the shoulders. And then folding all the way down. Hands on top of the shins. Relax the head and the neck. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull the chest through. Exhale, fold forwards. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lift all the way up. Reach the arms up. Exhale, hands together at heart center. Bend your knees. Sweep the floor with your middle finger. Find the depth of your chair pose. Sink the butt back behind you. Again, remember to find that slope along the spine. And check you can still see the toes. Keep breathing. And then folding all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back for a modified plank pose. Knees slightly behind the hips. Puff up in between the shoulder blades. Shoulder stacks on top of the wrists. So begin to shift forwards. Squeeze the elbows behind you as you lower halfway down. Press down the hands. Inhale, lift up for your plank pose. Exhale, tuck the toes under. Coming back to that downward facing dog. Again, keeping the knees bent if you've got tight hamstrings. Keep finding that slope in the spine. Shift the gaze out in front of you. We'll meet back at the top of the mat, standing nice and wide. Folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, sweep the floor with your middle finger. Sink the butt back, chair pose. Staying nice and strong. Can you still see the toes? And then folding all the way back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the ground, coming back to your plank pose. So again, shoulders on top of the wrists. Shift forwards, squeeze the elbows in, lower halfway down. Inhale, lift all the way back up for your plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice slope along the spine. Tilt the pelvis up and back. Coming for a modified side plank, so right knee finds the ground, spin the whole body open towards the left. Shoot the left leg long behind you, ground the foot to the mat. Shoulder stacks on top of shoulder, hip on top of hip. You can always tuck the right toes under for more stability. Inhale, float your left leg up. Exhale, tap the foot to the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, left foot steps to the outside of that left side of the mat. Bring your right foot forward for a nice wide squat. Sink the butt down. You can always sit on top of that block. You can use a chair or maybe try bringing the seat to the ground. Allowing the hips to settle here for a moment or two. Setting up for your goddess pose, so you might want to widen the feet a little bit more. Remember, knees and toes follow each other. I'm just going to turn around. So arms towards the ceiling, toes pointing about 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. Tiny pulses. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, stay low, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I want to turn back to the top of the mat, but you stay where you are. Stay nice and strong. Breathe. Pivot 10 toes forwards and then folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to your modified plank pose. Lower halfway down. Lift all the way back up, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Modified side plank on the other side. So lower the left knee to the mat. Roll the body open towards the right. Right leg long behind you. So take a big inhale, float your right leg up. Exhale, tap the foot to the ground. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Activate into the glute. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step the foot forward, coming back to your yogi squat. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see better. Knees and toes follow each other. Again, feel free to use the block or a chair. And lift up a little bit higher, goddess pose. When you're ready, pulses again. So we'll go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay low if you can. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs, 10 toes points forwards and folding forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back, plank pose. Lower halfway down, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, picks you up for your plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lower the knees to the mat. Left foot to the outside of your left hand. Lift all the way up, high lunge. Maybe lifting the right knee off the ground if that feels okay. Squeeze inner thighs together. Find your stability. So coming for a twist. Right hand to the ground. Maybe on top of a brick. Spin the body towards the left. Make sure you're not crushing your bump. So you find a nice open twist. hands to the mat. Spin the back foot down, open your body towards the right. Left forearm finds your thigh, right arm sweeps up and over, extended side angle. Front knee stacks on top of the ankle. Inhale lifts you up. Exhale, right hand down the back leg, left arm sweeps up and over. Reverse your warrior two. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Plank pose, lower halfway down. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. So we'll lower the knees to the mat. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. High lunge whenever you're ready. You can always keep that left knee to the ground if that feels better. Reach the arms up, find that nice wide base. And then coming for that open twist. So left hand towards the edge of the mat. Twist yourself towards the right. Keep the belly open. And then lower the hands to the mat. Spin the back foot down, extended side angle. So right forearm finds your thigh, left arm sweeps up and over. Keep spinning the chest open towards the left. Keep grounding down that left foot. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left hand down the back leg, right arm sweeps up and over. Inhale, lifts you all the way up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Plank pose. Lower halfway down, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, downward facing dog. So lower the knees to the mat as you step your right foot forwards between the hands. High lunge. And then bring the hands together at heart center. Bow down halfway, head forwards. Use the wall if you like. Float your back leg up, warrior three. Keep sending the head forwards. You can always use the block to put your hands on top of as well as another option. Obviously the wall will give you a little bit more help in the balance area. Keep bringing the left hip down. Keep flexing into that left foot. Releasing the hands to the mat, we'll step back to a downward facing dog. Lower the knees to the mat as you step your left foot forward between the hands. High lunge, find that nice wide base. Hands together at heart center, bow down halfway. Send the head forwards, keep shifting forwards. Use the wall again if you like. Float your back leg up, warrior three. Feel free to use the brick. Keep sending your right hip down. Find your balance. And then we'll meet back in a downward facing dog. Lower the knees to the mat. Grab your cushion or the block. Come to a comfortable seated position. I'm sat on top of the block in hero's pose, on top of my shins, toes behind me. Closing down the eyes. Maybe placing the hands on top of the belly or back onto the legs. Coming back to that connection, to that breath, to that stillness. Thank you so much for allowing me to share my practice with you. With love and gratitude. Namaste.